What's up, bitches? Guess what? This is episode 10 of I Am Kenny Biddle, and I happen to be the ghost of Kenny Biddle. Woo! On this episode, guess what we're talking about? Something called Pepper's Ghost. Yes, it's an effect that's really, really freaking cool. And I've been seeing it a lot on YouTube. Usually posted by hosters that are just obviously trying to get attention. But then, there's also these teams that are out there, these ghost hunting teams that are trying to get this thing going. And, you know, let's show a living room, and there's a ghost where, you know, the owner said that it walks across the room and it sits on this couch. Let's see if we can get it. And we set up our little cameras, and then, you know, we do our ghost hunt, and then sometime in the night, where no one's looking and no one's paying attention, this ghost actually walks around and sits down on the couch. Holy fuck! It's awesome! Is it awesome? Well, not really. It's basically a trick. Exactly what I'm doing right now. And I'll tell you what, it's easy to do. There's a theatrical version to do it, and I'll explain that in a little bit, but there's also a poor man's version, which I'm actually going to demonstrate and then show you my resulting video. Alright? And I mean, this right here, what you're seeing, my transparent, like, floating, ghostly self, really simple. And I'm going to show you in more detail later, but basically, all I have, I'm in the same room that I'm always doing these videos, and all that I have is a piece of glass. Honestly. You want to see it? I'll show it to you. Ready? There it is. And I'm right next to it. Oh my god, that's so cool, ain't it? Okay, right now I'm going to switch back into my solid living form and give you the rest of the details. Some history, where you might find this effect, and then we'll demonstrate it. Okay? Let's go. Alright, I'm back. What's up, bitches? Alright, so why are we doing this? Why are we talking about the Pepper's Ghost effect? Well, basically, there was a couple weeks ago, there was a ghost hunting group that put a video up and claimed that, hey, you know what, we were in this house, and the owner claimed that they saw a ghost or a figure walking in front of the couch and then sitting down on the couch. So, during their ghost investigation, they set up a camera in the living room on the couch, and voila, wow, they caught a video of a transparent figure walking in front of the couch and then sitting down at the end. Okay? Now, there was a problem with this video, because, well, there was a few problems with this video. One is that there was a glitch at the end where you actually saw, like, there was a half second where it looked like a figure was reaching for the camera from the side. As in, like, whoever was doing this realized that they had to turn the camera off, got up to turn the camera off, and then didn't edit themselves out. The second thing is that basically it looks staged. And I know that's not like concrete proof that it's staged, because, you know, it's just what it looks like. But just seeing these videos on YouTube and all over the place, you kind of get the feel for this. And really, what really set me off on it was that later on they actually posted a video showing a walkthrough of the area. And in addition to the couch that they were filming, there was another couch at a 90-degree angle to it on the end. Well, this is actually perfect, because the way I set up my recreation, it basically is the same way. My living room is set up the same way. I have one couch, and then at 90-degree angle I have another couch, which set it up perfectly. So I could actually duplicate this video. Awesome. What I'm going to do is put the link to that video in the description below. You can also look on my Facebook page, the I Am Kenny Biddle Facebook page, and you'll see the videos there. You have to scroll down a bit, but it's there. What is Pepper's Ghost effect? Basically, it's a theatrical trick of light. It's to get a ghostly image of a real person up on stage in front of a live audience. That's basically what it was to do. And the first mention of this is back in 1584. A guy named Giambattista della Porta. He wrote a book called, what was it called?
Magia Naturalis. And basically that translates into natural magic. And there was a chapter in there that it was entitled How We May See in a Chamber Things That Are Not. And basically the description goes on to describe seeing reflections in the glass. If you put glass inside the room and you're looking from the outside, you're going to see reflections from things outside, and it looks like they're inside, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty natural stuff. We see this all the time. When you walk down in front of a store, a storefront, and you're looking in the window, you see a reflection. That's your Pepper's ghost right there. Let's see. Let's go into more of the history of it. In 1862, a guy named Henry Dirks developed the Dirksian Phantasmagoria. That's a mouthful. Which was a version of a long-established Phantasmagoria performances. It's basically a technique used to make a ghost appear on stage, which is our Pepper's ghost thing. Henry tried to sell his idea to all the theaters, but his version actually required the theaters to rebuild, like knock down the current theater and rebuild around his idea and his mechanical configuration. So basically, theaters said, no, we're not doing this because that's ridiculous, it's too expensive, we're not doing this. So it kind of failed. So later that same year, Henry Dirks set up a booth in what's called the Royal Polytechnic Institute of London, which is basically a permanent science-related institution. And by that time, a man named John Henry Pepper was the director of this place, and the sole lessee of the Royal Polytechnic. So he was a big shot. He was the main guy here. So here comes Pepper. He walks along, sees the booth, sees the idea, and basically takes the idea and says, I can make this better. And reworks it and says, look, now I figured out a way that we can actually incorporate this in the existing theaters. And nobody has to rebuild anything, and it'll work out great. They can use it. So what happened was Pepper showed the effect during a scene from Charles Dickens' The Haunted Man. And it was a great success. Everybody loved it. Unfortunately, because he showed it, everybody just associated it with him. So it got the name Pepper's Ghost. And he kept trying over the years. Mr. Pepper kept trying to say, no, Henry Dirks came up with the idea, I just modified it. But unfortunately, the name has stuck. And we all know it as Pepper's Ghost now. There's some modern examples of this. The most famous is the Haunted Mansion in Disney World. If you've ever been in there and you ride the cars, you go through the dining room, and you can look this up in YouTube and all kinds of video advertisements for Disney when you see the Haunted Mansion. But as you're gliding through on the cars and you look down, you're seeing ghosts that dance around and interact with this huge dining room. And what's actually happening is that you're on an elevated platform and you're looking into a screen. You're looking through a screen down to the dining room. And underneath you is a completely black room with all of these models, mannequins that are dancing around. They're automated mannequins. They're dancing around, and they're highlighted so that it shows up on the screen and you see it as transparent figures. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty good trick. But that takes a lot. And setting up a full-fledged Pepper's Ghost effect takes a little bit. Honestly, you have to set up the glass, and it's got to be big enough that it covers the area that people are going to be viewing. So when you're talking about like a stage performance, that's a huge piece of glass that's got to be able to not only be angled so that the ghost in the hidden room can view it, but it's got to be angled and cover enough area that the entire audience can look in it and see what's going on. You can do small ones, like if you look on videos, there's a video posted, and I'll put the link up on here so that you guys can see it too. But basically, what you do is set up a piece of glass at a 45-degree angle in a dark room, and you have people come down the hallway that are walking towards the room. Well, inside that room, there's a person in there, and they actually did up the whole room with black backdrops all over the place. So basically, there's nothing to reflect. The lights are off in that room. There's one light that's pretty much on an area where your so-called ghost is going to walk through. And when that person walks into the light, their reflection goes onto the glass that's in the doorway and will show down the hallway. And you'll see in the video, if you click on the link, again, that I'm going to provide, you'll see how this whole thing is set up. It's pretty cool. But unfortunately, most ghost hunting teams don't have this time. And you're working with limited equipment and in a person's house that's unfamiliar to you. So, what the fuck is a ghost hunter to do? Well, you improvise. And basically, this is what we do. Okay, so what we have here is basically your poor man's version of the Pepper's ghost effect. What I did was take the glass pane, this thing, out of my screen door. It's winter time here, so this is usually what we have in the screen door. And mine right now does not have it in there because, you know, I'm experimenting. Anyway, basically what I did was take it out and put my camera on a tripod, a small tripod, like this, set it up in the corner of the room here. This other tripod here is just to stabilize the glass so it doesn't fall over. But basically all you do is put this on an angle, right in front of the lens, like so. Let's see if I don't mess it up, crash everything into the ground. Okay, so right now, as this setup is, basically what the camera is seeing, the camera sees the couch over here, and it's going to see the reflection that's in the glass. And the reflection is actually over here where the door is. So if I'm standing in front of the doorway, it's going to see my reflection. And like any reflection, it's going to be a transparent image. So basically, what I need to do is just set up the lighting so that I don't get too much reflection. And when you're doing a ghost hunt, it's very easy because most of the time you see them turn out the lights. So it's dark. They're using infrared cameras, shit like that. Now, there is an issue with some of the infrared cameras. When they switch over to infrared from the visible, they usually turn on a whole bunch of IR LEDs. There's ways around that because some cameras don't have that. Sometimes you use a regular camera. There's other ways around it. You can use these. These are various brackets that will take a light. This is a visible light, but you can put an IR or UV light on this, and it actually, the camera goes here, so that the light is off center. It's off the camera and it's out of range. And I can put this on the camera so that it's outside of the pane of glass, so it won't be reflected. Same thing with this. This will actually put it above the glass and still shine on your topic, your subject. Alright, so once you got your lighting figured out and the angles and you don't have too much reflection, like for me right now I have a problem with the door because the door is such a light color that it easily reflects in the glass. So usually I have to keep it really dark in here or cover that up with some kind of tarp or a blanket. I mean, if you have a blanket just laying around on the couch, you can throw it over the door and block the light. What else? Basically with the light, what you want to do is make sure there's light on your subject. And in this case, the subject is the couch. Because what I want to do is make this effect so that the ghost looks like it walks up to the couch and sits down. So you want all the light that you have in the room, which you don't want too much, but you want it on the couch. You don't want it over on this section. Usually this effect works wonderful when you have two separate rooms, because one room is lit and the audience or the viewer sees it, and then the other room is for the ghost to hide in, and there's usually like black walls and backdrops set up so that any reflective surface is blocked, and there's usually one light that the so-called ghost can walk in front of and get reflected in the glass. In this case, and in some of the cases I'm seeing on these YouTube videos where people are going in and doing ghost hunts in private homes, you really don't have that option. You have to really, you have to jerry rig it. That's what you got to do. So that's what I did here. During one of your ghost hunts or these, investigations that they do, you're going to be dealing primarily with infrared light or UV light. So what's the first thing they do? They turn out the lights. Alright, so it's always dark, and it's taking place at night, so it's still dark. Alright, so you're working in the perfect medium for this kind of effect. And basically all you need is
a little bit of illumination that's on the other side of the room. I'm not really dressed for doing this kind of work. The better thing to do is have light colored clothes. Like if I had light colored blue jeans on and maybe a white shirt or some kind of light colored shirt, the reflection will show up better. But because I'm wearing mostly black and dark blue, I don't show up as much. So you keep that in mind. If you wear something light colored, you're going to show up better in reflection, even if it's all dark all around. So let's get to it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you the result of the video as soon as I'm done. The last thing you want to do before you start filming this is to understand your angles. It's kind of like shooting pool. You have to know the angle that you want to shoot and get the ball in the hole. So basically what you want to do is set this up. You look in the screen when you set up your camera. Turn the screen on, you look at it to see where the reflections are. And you adjust this, and this adjusts the angle to where it is. And what I want to do, say, with this setup is that I'm filming this couch. Okay, and I want it to look like a ghost is sitting right here. Okay, so what I'll do is either set up a chair or another couch in a position that I want that in the reflection lines up where I want the ghost to sit. Alright, so basically I've already done that. That takes anywhere from like 5 to 10 minutes just to figure out the angle and get it set up right. You don't even have to use a couch like that. You can use a chair. You can just get a folding chair and set it up. Throw on like a dark blanket or something, or even a towel. Just throw it on there so that it doesn't show up in the reflection, and you're good to go. Alright, so this is what I'm going to do. You hit the record button on that camera, and this is what you do. Alright, so now that my camera is rolling, all I'm going to do is walk nice and slow over to this chair and sit down. Boom. That's it. That's all you need. Now, once you get the finished product and you see it, I'm going to be transparent, and I'm going to walk into the frame, sit down, wave the camera, be silly, and then get up and walk away. And as I walk away, I disappear completely. It's a cool effect, and you know, you can do it anywhere, but it does have a certain look to it. And if you see it enough times, you will be able to spot it. And unfortunately, you're not going to be able to prove it 100% unless you're there with the team or the ghost hunter that's doing this, and you can film them doing it. But otherwise, that's basically how you do a poor man's version of Pepper's Ghost.
Alright, so that was the basic description of a poor man's version of Pepper's Ghost. Now, it's pretty simple. It took me all of, 10-15 minutes total to set it up, film it, and get it up here and process the little video. Now, the video that I'm going to show you, I didn't actually take during that demonstration. I took last week when I was actually recreating the original video. And I want to say something about that. I want to address a few issues here. Now, I can't say 100% that the team that did this video or all of the teams that did these fucking videos faked them. I can't, because I wasn't there watching them, I wasn't there filming them, all that shit. I can't do it. I can only go off of what I know, my experience, my knowledge, my ability to recreate the effect, and just simply knowing about the effect. And knowing what can be done, and knowing the tools that ghost hunters have on their little ghost hunts, I can pretty much figure out for myself, this is probably a video they created. Again, did they do it 100%? I can't say. And I'm not going to say it because that would just be stupid. And I got to really work on that thing. I say a lot. Man. Let's see. There's no sound in the video. The original video that was posted, and most of these videos that are posted, they don't have sound, and that's pretty cool. That's something I've picked up on, something I really learned from a friend of mine, Patrick Doyle, before he stopped being skeptical. And I still love you. When there's no audio on the video, it kind of makes me think that you're hiding something. Now, granted, a lot of these DVR systems that come with like 4 or 8 or 16 cameras, they don't have audio function on the video cameras. They're simply video, which is fine. It's good for surveillance. But there's that issue because you don't know what's going on in the background. The videos that I showed you, I had sound with. You could hear me walking around. And it's quite simple. You could hear me fidgeting or off to the side. And that's what you're not seeing or hearing, actually, in these videos. You don't know what's going on in the background or to the side of the camera or maybe behind the camera. There's too much that can go on. If there's no audio on it, I really don't trust it to begin with. What else? Another issue is that when I looked at this video and saw all the comments being posted, and I don't want to just single this video out because it's not the only one. There's a lot of them out there. But the comments that are being posted are stuff from the team, the people that do it, that made the video, that posted the video, saying, you know, I can't believe that we got all this critiquing and criticism, that you guys don't believe us, that you should take our word for it and trust us because we're a respectable team and all that shit. Bullshit. Bullshit. There's no respectable team out there that deserves someone just taking your word for it. That's taking something at face value, and that's crap. That's fucking bullshit. You don't take anyone's word for it. You question everything. That's what we do. You're investigating things. You investigate it. You question it. You don't take your word for it just because you said it. Hello, have you not heard of like the Goners team that did that? That did the cell phone image? That when they stole a ghost? We're supposed to take their word for it. That ain't happening. You know, you don't take anyone's word for it. If you want to be taken seriously, then you put up all the evidence and you don't fake shit. That's pretty much what it comes down to. I'm not taking your word for it. I don't care who you are. You got a famous name, you got a TV show, you got a radio program. I don't fucking care. And most of you shouldn't care either. It doesn't matter because you're all fake. Look at the most famous ghost hunting TV show ever that's still going. How many times a day fake shit? And you fucktards are still watching the shit. I don't get it. Ugh. Lastly, I mean, it's basically the same thing I've already said. I can't prove it 100%. I can't do it unless I was there. If I was there, I would have recorded it and I would have shown everyone because I would have been like, I got you, fuckers. But I wasn't there, so I can't say. Alright? Is it fake? I don't know. Yes, I do. But I can't say for sure. There's that again. What the hell? I guess in closing, you know, let's wrap this up because we've beaten this dead horse a lot. I guess it comes down to popularity because that's the only excuse I can think of for people to create videos like this. You want to be popular. You want somebody to look at you and say, wow, you're awesome, and get all those stupid fanboy groupie comments about great catch, awesome job, that's an amazing video. Bullshit. I don't get it. I guess it's just popularity that you want. And seriously, if you're faking shit just to be popular, that's fucking sad. It really is. I feel sorry for you. Because that's what you have to do to get people to like you. Alright, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. You can take something away from this and apply it to your ghost hunts, your investigations, your whatever. And I guess that's it. I have nothing else to say. Except if you have any complaints, if you want to curse me out or harass me, call the cops on me, please contact Lou Castillo in California. He is my go-to man. He is Mexican, so watch out. I wouldn't worry. He's more like a big teddy bear, especially when you give him rum. If you want to get in contact with me, you can do so by going to my Facebook page at I am Kenny Biddle and leave comments, give me ideas. If you want to hear something in particular, like a topic for one of these episodes, why am I talking with my hands? I don't know. I'm not Italian. If you have a topic you want to hear about, then let me know. If it's a good one and I can do research on it, more than happy to. If you like my videos, please let me know. If you like what I say, please let me know, because it encourages me to do more of this shit. And if I do more of this shit, then, you know, nothing. Seriously, I'll just keep making more. That's pretty much what I do. And if I keep making more, I'll just keep pissing people off. So, oh well. Thanks for watching. See you next time.